this user agent is all about, and how to kind of utilize this in kind of doing any kind of investigation. Okay, so now let's go to the next header, that is the referrer header. So what this referrer header is all about, so we'll kind of see. And this is again something which is very, very useful for us. So thing is like, let's say this one, that where we were visiting the portsfigure.net, what we see that there's a referrer header over here. Okay, and it says that the referrer header is google.com. So what that means is that actually means that I, as a user, I didn't directly went to the portsfigure.net, but rather I first visited google.com. Okay, over there I searched for this specific, let's say the specific keyword like portsfigure.net, and I got a list of like hits. So what I will say is that, let me just quickly so let me just quickly do something. Okay, and now let me restart the Bob suit. So you guys might have that orange one, I think, in the Ramnex. Okay, the orange, it might be the color with the orange Bob suit. So that's actually kind of an old version, but you can utilize that too for doing the, by kind of just follow up on like what I'm trying to discuss over here. But thing is like, if you update that, it will come something, the color will be something like this. Okay, and it is the updated version. It has few other extra functionality. I think one of the best functionality is that it has the updated browser in that. Like you don't need to configure anything, and it comes with a pre-configured browser. Okay, but the thing is that what we will do is, maybe we can also just quickly configure our browser itself and make that thing into action. So what we'll do is, let's say, let me just quickly turn on that browser tool. It's taking some time. So in the meantime, what we'll do is that let me go to this part and let me see if I have certain things to kind of discuss. It's taking some time. Just go towards the header. Access. Okay, so the next thing what I will be kind of sharing with you guys is the referral header. Okay, so let me just quickly write that down. So the spelling of this referral is a little bit is actually misspelled by the authors who were kind of, when they were kind of developing the GET protocol headers. So there was a mistake itself in the spelling of that referral header, and the spelling is something like let me just see why my software is like. Okay, so the next thing is a referral. Okay, so what this tells us, so in the one that we were seeing right now, what we are seeing is at the portsfigure website, when we were kind of looking at the GET header, what we saw that the referral header was google.com. Okay, so what that means is that I was referred, I visited the host header was something like portsfigure.net. So what that means is that that I visited this website portsfigure.net, and I was redirected by google.com. Okay, so from just by looking at these two header, we can get an idea about the whole scenario of what the user was doing. Okay, so just by looking at these two header, we can figure out that the user was visiting google.com, and in that Google they searched for Portswiggle. Okay, and that's where the Google returned them returned result. Okay, and the thing is that once the result was returned, and then thing is that the user clicked upon one of the link that was written by the Google search. Okay, so thing is that that's the reason. So just by looking at the referrer header and the HTTP header and the host header, you can figure out the whole story. And let's say, for an example, you are looking at a get header where you are seeing this. Let's say you are seeing this host. So, for an example, you are saying host is c2.evil.com, for an example. So, which is kind of a malicious URL, for an example. So you won't see, in most of the cases, you won't see referrer URL. You won't see this header over there. Okay. So what this will tell us is that software is directly kind of making a request toward this c2.evil.com. And if this URL was, let's say, portswiggle.net itself without any referrer header, so in that case, we can also again tell that the user or the software is not going, so they know the website, they know what the portswiggle.net URL is, and then they are directly going to that URL rather than searching for that on the Google. So this will again kind of help you in the investigation, in knowing about what was the scenario that the user was kind of encountering when they visited this website, let's say portswiggle.net. Okay, so just by using the host and the referrer header, we can understand a lot of story that was running in the background when that system actually visited the website portswiggle.net. Okay, so this is again another very important terms to kind of know. Okay, and I hope the portswiggle. Okay, so now it is kind of running. So let me just go this code default, start the burp, and let it start now. And in the meantime, we'll kind of quickly go through the other headers too. Okay. Okay. So the next thing, what we will be saying is the cookie header. Okay. So cookie header is something like what you say. Let's suppose you visit facebook.com. Okay, you visit facebook.com and you have given your username and password, for an example. You'll have logged in. Okay. So what happened is that whenever after you have logged in, whenever you are visiting facebook.com, you don't need to enter the username and password every time. Okay. So how the Facebook is able to authenticate you every time, even though it is not asking you the username password, it's all because of the cookies. Okay, it's all because of the cookies. So what happened is that when the first time you visit facebook.com and you enter your username and password, the Facebook actually sends out a cookie to you. Okay, which is actually mapped to your username and password. Okay, okay, and this cookie is actually saved in the browser. So next time when you visit facebook.com, the browser actually checks that if there is any cookie of facebook.com, if there is any cookie already in the browser, so then what the browser will do is that it will send that cookie to the facebook.com. Okay, and the Facebook will check if this cookie is kind of valid and which user that cookie is mapped out to, and that's where it will figure out, okay, if it is a valid cookie and if it is a kind of linked to a valid username and password, it will allow you to access the facebook.com URL without asking you the username and password again. Okay, so this is again thing is that those information of the cookie is also kind of present in the HTTP cookie header. So if we kind of go to this one, and let me just quickly connect my charger to the laptop. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, guys. Let's all charge now.